Hi guys, peace be to you. Assalamualaikum, Omar here. Wow. So we're making it through the first month of the new year, 2023. We are deep in January. So I'm doing my Sunday truncated long run. I'm only going to do about 7 miles. Very, very slow shuffle. I want to talk to you guys about failures, how to deal with failure. Everybody has failed at something at least once. So I think it's a common thread throughout human history and our human experience. So I've got some ideas on how to deal with it. So whether that is a failed job, a job that you didn't get, or a job from which you were fired, or some kind of, maybe you work for yourself and you didn't get a contract that you thought was going to come through, and you were counting on paying the mortgage and paying for your kids' school, but it fell through. You didn't get that money. So, number one, I would say, don't freak out, okay? And I say this in particular to young men. I've got 4 kids, 3 of whom are young men. And I'm trying to do my best to prepare them for the adult world to which they are presently transitioning. Don't freak out. My oldest son he was working for Amazon, and he lost a job a couple of years ago. And he goes, "Dad, I got fired." I said, "Well, congratulations. Welcome to the adult world." What am I going to do? Well, just figure it out. Get another job or go back to your boss. So see if you can work something out. So number one, don't freak out, because in most cases what has happened to you has happened to other people, and they've survived it. And young men, unfortunately, especially in this day and age, young men, so many of them go straight to freaking out. And if you're not a mentally stable person, they go straight to violence. They go back to their job and kill everybody, kill as many people as possible at their erstwhile job, or kill themselves. If it's a girlfriend with whom they broke up, or a wife with whom they divorced, they go kill the wife and any kids that they had. And it's very unfortunate. We're seeing more of that. I thought that it would end, but we're just seeing so much of that. So we'll continue to see it. So number one, don't freak out. Number two, don't beat yourself up. Don't knock yourself in the head. "Oh God, I'm so stupid. I'm such a loser. Oh God, this always happens. I'm such an idiot." I used to say that about myself a lot. I'd mess up on things and I'd be like, "Oh God, I'm so stupid." This is a long time ago, and my boss said, "You're not stupid, Omar." And that really made me feel good, because I had gotten in the habit of saying it just as a catchphrase, and a lot of us say it. So don't beat yourself up. Number one, don't freak out. Number two, don't beat yourself up. Having said that, number three, take full ownership of what you did, what you may not have done, to keep whatever it is you lost, whether it's a job or a significant other, or maybe you flunked out of a allied health program. That's potentially devastating, because that goes in your record. Maybe you're arrested. Lots of innocent people get arrested. They get arrested for silly reasons. So take ownership. Say, okay, what did I do? What did I do wrong? How could I have approached this particular situation better? Maybe you got thrown in jail because you punched some guy in the face because he said something to you. So you say, well, I really need to work on my temper. Or maybe you got fired from a job because you just weren't as competent as you needed to be on that job. And that's a hard talk to have with yourself, because you have to say, listen, man, what did I do? Don't make excuses. And unfortunately, we got this kind of day and age Maybe I'll get in trouble for this. I'm not monetized, I don't care. So this kind of woke paradigm that with which we're dealing. You know, everybody has some reason with how they're able to absolve themselves of any accountability. I could say, well, you know, they fired me because I'm a black man in America. And you know how people hate black people, especially black men. It's like, I'm black, strike one. I'm a Muslim, strike two. And then I'm old, strike three. So I got racism, Islamophobia, and ageism. So you're never going to grow as a person if it's always somebody else's fault, you know, and there's some truth to some of that. I mean, you know, my parents and grandparents regaled me with their experience with racism, you know, in the 40s, 50s, and 60s. It was pretty horrible. But, you know, you in this day and age, you know, you really have to. There's a lot of opportunities, but you know, us people, no matter how you identify yourself, you gotta say, okay, I gotta take ownership of my shortcoming. What did I do? What didn't I do? Maybe you just weren't good enough. You know, so you gotta look at like what are some things I can do better for the next opportunity that I have. I heard Kanye West just got married again. It's interesting. So I usually don't talk about stars in my videos, but you know, I figure out what you can do to make this marriage work. You know, this is everybody. You know, figure out what you can do to make this next job work, or this next source of income. What can you do to make this next program? I talked to a young man who flunked out of 2 PA programs. This was his 3rd PA program. I said, okay, well, you need to figure out what happened with those last 2 PA programs, so you don't get in trouble with this PA program, because you know it's gonna look bad for you when you're trying to get a job. It's all right, you flunked out of 3 PA programs. You know, even if you go into another, hey guys, even if you go into another field, you know, whew, beautiful hills. But look at what you're doing. So, number 1, again, recap. Don't freak out. Number 2, don't beat yourself up. 3, gotta reassess what you have to do, you know, why the thing didn't work out. And then number 4, I would say, you know, move on to something else. You know, sometimes things don't work out. Sometimes you need to go into another endeavor. You know, if you've tried multiple jobs in the same field, but maybe your heartstrings are pulling you towards something else, it's not really your passion, you know, maybe pursue your passion. You won't make as much money. You're like, yeah, but I made so much money. I chatted with a young man who dropped out of medical school, and he said, I hated it. I didn't even want to be a doctor. Well, my parents wanted me to be a doctor. You know, and he left. Hey there. So, you know, he's doing something that he really loves doing. I encourage my kids, especially the young adults, you know, follow your passion, guys. You may be broke, but you'll be happier and you'll be more effective. I was trying to get a wrestling scholarship many years ago when I was in high school, and I just wasn't good enough, you know. But I transitioned over into martial arts, which is kind of cool. Yeah, I didn't get recruited by any schools, so I didn't get a scholarship. My brother did, Khalil Abdul-Malik. Yeah, all-American wrestler and all that. It's pretty awesome. But you know, sometimes you gotta move on. You know, if it's a significant other right behind you. If it's a significant other, you know, a series of failed marriages or something, take a break before you get married again and say, okay, what's going on here? Hi there, how are you?
Hi, I'm good.
Good. you know, but, you know, just keep going. Hey there, how are you?
Good, how are you?
So, number one, if you fail at something, don't freak out. Number two, I forgot what number two was. Number two, you know, don't beat yourself up. Number three, take ownership of what you did wrong. Don't say, yeah, but I know I did this or I didn't do this, but don't say that. Number four, you know, consider alternatives. If nobody died and nobody was horribly incapacitated as a result of your actions, you know, you can always move on. All right, guys, that's it for now. Subscribe if you want. Take care. Peace.